And good morning, Port Jervis. Welcome to the Port Center Spotlight Podcast. I am here with sixth grader Max Talmadge, the sixth grade class president at ASK. Max, good morning and welcome to the podcast.
Good morning.
Yeah, good to see you. You're looking good. You got the port gear on.
Thank you.
How do you feel about being on this podcast this morning?
Happy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was it something like, oh, I got to do this, or you felt good about doing it?
I feel good about doing it.
Yeah, cool. Well, this is Max Talmadge, everybody. If you are watching the show live, please jump in, say hello, say good morning. Let us know where you are watching from. And again, this is called the Port Center Spotlight Podcast because we are spotlighting great young people, great employees, great alumni we have here in Port Jervis. We're really proud to run the show. We're grateful to run the show and certainly grateful to have guests like Max on. So Max, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Do you have brothers, sisters, some activities you're involved in, things like that? Introduce yourself.
I have two brothers and sister in second grade. They're in Miss Feeney's class.
Shout out to Miss Feeney's class. And your siblings' names are?
Callie and Crew.
Okay. Are they twins? Are they?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Very cool. And you're involved in some activities here at school?
Mm-hmm. I'm in the play. I do wrestling at Delaware Valley and football at Delaware Valley, and then I do baseball here.
Cool. Max, why do you think you were nominated to come on the show?
Because of how good I am at school, because of how respectful I am and kind to others.
Nice. You're right. Your teachers couldn't say enough things about you. Halpenny's watching, Fisher's watching. Good morning, ASK staff, your fellow classmates. You are, Max. You are doing those things, and it's important there. Does it come easy for you? Is it just something that you do, or do you intentionally have to work at some of those things?
It just kind of comes easy for me.
Okay. One of the things your teacher said is about very confident and very outspoken. You're not afraid to speak up. Is that true?
Yeah.
How is that, Max? There's so many kids that are afraid to raise their hand or say something. You're not afraid to do those things. Why? Is there you don't think about it? What is it? How come you're not afraid like most kids?
It comes easy for me. It's just I do.
You just do it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into the play. That's the first thing here. Matilda is the play, and it's in January, right? For second weekend in January?
Yeah, the 13th and 14th.
Okay, Friday and Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about your role? Why don't you tell us what that is and how you feel about it?
I'm the dad of Matilda in it, and
Mr. Wormwood.
Yeah.
Mr. Wormwood. Okay. Danny DeVito played it in the movie. Tell us about playing that character.
It's been really fun. I like how I have to talk, and I kind of get to be funny in it.
Yeah. Cool. You like that?
Yeah.
You like to hear the audience laugh.
Mm-hmm.
What's it like working for Miss Halpenny and the crew?
It's fun because I've known Miss Halpenny since I was in kindergarten, and I'm friends with her children.
You go way back.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Her daughter was recommended for the podcast here. Remembering the lines, Max, is that something that's challenging?
It was challenging at first, but now I kind of have it all figured out.
You use index cards. What's your method?
I just practice it, and then after practicing it over and over, it kind of just becomes easy and you remember it all.
Good life advice there as well. Good job, Max. Max, what happens when there's some bloopers? Kids fall, they forget their lines, or kids break out laughing? What is that like in rehearsal?
It's funny. Some people laugh, but then we all just stop and then get right back to the show.
Okay. You get nervous, Max?
No.
You get nervous at anything?
In baseball and wrestling sometimes.
Oh, and what is that there in that platform? What makes that different?
It's just because I don't want to strike out and then kind of let my team down, especially in a close game.
So if you have 2 strikes on you and you're there in the batter's box, what's going into your head? What are you thinking about?
Just Put the ball on the bat.
Make contact.
Hmm.
Yeah. And how about wrestling? If this guy's got you and he's got you, what's going in your mind there?
Just do whatever I can to win and get out.
Yeah. Good mindset there. And Max, as an athlete, you know this. I'm sure your parents and your coaches taught you this. We want to play not with fear of failure, but with a vision of success, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that bat on the ball. So that I'm glad you didn't say, well, I'm thinking about being afraid to strike out. That's not, not the mentality we want to have. That's good. Max, you're the oldest in your family, sixth grade. You're gonna be the last sixth grade class at ASK this second half of the year, your time leaving ASK. Let's start there. What are some things that you love about ASK that you're going to be like sad to leave elementary school behind?
The wonderful teachers, and I'm gonna miss overall just being able to have such a good relationship with my teachers because I'm gonna have to start all over and meet new teachers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you'll be going to middle school. What's your favorite part of the day at ASK?
Recess because I get to play with my friends and then I get to see kids who aren't in my classes and hang out with my friends who aren't in my classes.
You get the weather's been good. You get outside. ASK, they're outside all year long. Even when it's cold, get them outside. So lunch and recess, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now you're going to some different subjects. So what subject is your favorite?
Social studies,
Okay, and who's that with?
Mr. Fisher.
Okay, shout out to Mr. Fisher there on the podcast. He's had a number of his students recommended. What is it about that class? Is it the content? Is it Mr. Fisher? Is it why is that your favorite?
Uh, Part of it's because of the teacher, and I really like just like learning about older times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of history, not only in Port Jervis, our country, and that's awesome. What are you looking forward to about middle school?
Um, Meeting new people and meeting new teachers because HB is going to be coming over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the middle school, you'll be sixth, seventh, and eighth grade. So you'll have your fifth graders kind of with you, and you'll be right in the middle. So only 2 years for you. Is there things that you're curious about at the middle school that you wonder about?
Not really.
No. Okay. Well, they have amazing teachers there at the middle school and a lot of opportunities, right? All these activities, or many of these activities you're doing outside, you'll have the opportunity to play sports and clubs and activities. After school, there's so many things going on at middle school. So, speaking of activities, you're doing football, you're doing wrestling, you're doing baseball, you're involved in so many things. Is it get tiring, Max, or is it after school you're excited about these things?
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, you're doing wrestling now?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about the bell rings at school, you're leaving. What does your afternoon look like?
Go home or go to play practice and then and then eat dinner and then go in the car and go to wrestling practice from 6 to 8.
Wow. So you're doing play practice, dinner, and then you're going back out to wrestling.
Yeah, sometimes I have to eat dinner in the car because I have to go straight from play.
You're on the go. Marauders have eaten in the car many a time there. Number of people watching live, say hello. Let us know your Max's teachers, classmates, family. Shout out to Mrs. Leeper, your mom. I worked with Melissa many years here in Port Jervis. Max, back to the wrestling. Have you had a match yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you win?
Yeah.
Okay. What is that like, that competition, that battle, one-on-one, right? I played basketball. You could pass the ball around. There's a lot of people. In wrestling, it's you and the other guy or girl. What is your mindset going in there?
Don't get pinned.
Yeah. Yeah. And you do the techniques to try to avoid that happening while trying to get the other person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's your favorite? You have a favorite sport?
Football.
Why is football your favorite?
Because it's the funnest to play and it's also my favorite to watch.
Wide receiver, safety for the payout Lions.
Hmm.
Is that something you see yourself moving forward to Port Jervis modified football next year?
Yeah.
Yeah, the black and red, future Raider here. We're excited to have you, Max. How does all these sports translate to real life? What are some things that you take from the football field that you do during the day here at school?
Um, just no matter what, have fun and be respectful to the people you're playing against.
Playing against, playing with the
With,
officials,
yeah.
right? And that hard working attitude, right? You miss a play, you got to get right back to it and try to make that play again.
Yeah.
There's so many things, parallels that translate to real life as well. So, Max, you're 12 or 11?
12.
12. So you're 12 years old. You're going to be a teenager. You're going to be a middle schooler. What are some goals that you're setting for yourself uh, in your life? That you say when I'm in middle school, when I'm in high school, when I'm an adult. What are some things that you see yourself that you want to do, that you want to accomplish, that you want to be?
I want to be in advanced classes.
Okay.
And then in high school, I want to take as many college credits as I can
Wow. Why is that?
because I want to be an anesthesiologist.
Wow. You know that now.
Hmm.
And what is it about anesthesiology that got your attention?
My uncle does it,
Oh, wow.
and he's taught me a lot about it. So
Yeah, that's a delicate position, right? You can't have
yeah,
too much, you can't have too little. You got to have it just right. I always loved the anesthesiologist when I had procedures because bam, the next thing you know, you're woken up, you're not in pain, and all of that. Wow. Okay. So how do you? Do you look at your grades all the time? Is it something you're super focused on so you can get into those advanced classes?
yeah.
Yeah, certainly we have that for science, and there's some honors classes at the middle school as well. Wow, that's great. What other goals do you have?
Um, to just do my best at everything to the best of my ability.
Do you think kids like you, high achievers like you, Max, sometimes do we put too much pressure on ourselves? Do you feel pressure?
Not really.
Good. You're working hard without pressure. That's a nice conversation. You're comparing it to anesthesiology, right? If he pushes too much, it's too much medicine. Then you're gonna have a problem. If it's too little medicine, they won't be sleeping. They won't, So that's a good mixture on your part of hard work, being involved, but not feeling pressure. That's a good combination. Max, we're here in the Port Jervis community. There's so many good things happening. That middle school construction. I don't know if you knew you're going to have all brand new fields here at Gwinnett here as a football player. What does that mean for you as a 12-year-old? Say, wow, we're going to have all these awesome facilities. Are you excited about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of people in the community coming together. What does that mean for you to see those things in your future?
Um, it's gonna help us hopefully.
Yeah. It's going to look good. It's going to feel good. And
Yeah.
shout out to our community voting that budget, our district leadership, our athletic departments, putting those fields out there, getting those things. Our superintendent mentioned the P word recently, a pool to have in Port Jervis. That would be exceptional as well. So we're excited. Again, so many shout outs from your teachers. Max, here's some of the things your teachers said. I loved it. I loved hearing. Again, I mentioned about being confident and outspoken. They use words like hard worker, responsible student, class president, chorus, and ASK and drama. Um, your who wrote this? Miss Delaney wrote that you're a team player. He cares for people in his life. He wrote a beautiful story about his family vacation at the Outer Banks, and it showed how much family means to him. So, tell me about that. Do you remember what you wrote? The assignment there for Miss Delaney?
Yeah, I wrote about how my trip was with hanging out with my cousins. It's it was really fun. It was my favorite vacation ever.
Wow! Shout out to your family there. What Outer Banks, North Carolina? Was that a summer trip?
Hmm.
Yes, beautiful there. The dunes, and they have those big dunes there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. What was it about that family time that means the most to you?
Hanging out with my older cousin Cameron, because sometimes I only get to see him like every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we'll like FaceTime and stuff and play video games together. But it's really fun hanging out with him.
Yeah, awesome. And those family times, those summer vacation times, really cool. Max, we're talking about your achievements, the things you're doing well. What are some things that maybe aren't that easy for you or that you've struggled with? How do you work through hard times to continue to achieve? What's something that you've struggled with?
Uh, my team lost the baseball championship 2 years ago, so I was just trying to work as hard as I could at practice
Yeah.
to be able to win it.
Was that a huge disappointment for you?
Yeah,
Yeah. How do you get past that? How do you move forward?
just get it out of my head and then keep going forward.
Yeah. The next day's coming. The next baseball game's coming. We got to move forward. There's ups and downs, highs and lows, right? We have to continue to move on there. Shout out to Kim Gallo. She's watching here as well. Max, do you want to give any shout outs here? You got people have affected you. Who are some people outside of school that really impact you that you maybe want to give a shout out?
My parents and grandparents.
Okay. And what are some things that they've impressed upon you or lessons they've taught you or experiences you had? You just mentioned your vacation, but what are some things that they have done for you or mean for you?
They're always there for me and they're always supportive of whatever I want to do.
Nice. Shout out mom and dad, your grandparents. How about here in school? Who are some people you mentioned, Mr. Fisher, Miss Halpenny? Who are some other people or them that they've had a meaningful impact on you?
My fourth grade teacher, Miss Ashcraft.
Oh, tell me about that. Tell me about that relationship.
So she kind of knew my mom because my sister is friends with her daughter. So I kind of got to see her out of school too, at like soccer games and softball games.
Mm-hmm. And so she's Miss Ashcraft here at school, directing kids and teaching all those things.
Mm-hmm.
And then you saw her outside. So what were some things that you saw to see a teacher real life? Like what were some things that impacted you there?
How she's still the same outside of school.
Yeah.
And she's always kind to people.
Nice. Amazing. Kids can notice those things and those traits, right? There's a sense there, like, wow, you feel that, you see it. Cool. Max, we talk about Port Pride a lot. You got your Port shirt on. I love it here. We talked a lot about good things here at the school. What does Port Pride mean to you as a 12-year-old?
Doing things the right way, being kind to my classmates and teachers, and being responsible and respectful.
I think that's a saying at ASK, doing things the right way. Yeah. Yeah, every day. You've been hearing that the last 6 years. Awesome, Max. Well, we like to see Port Pride in action. We love to see it in our people, and you're doing that. That's awesome. Max, your building leaders are watching, your teachers. If you had a wish and you said, hey, I really want this at Port Jervis schools, I really want this at ASK or the middle school, what is something that maybe we don't have that you would say, oh, I think we should, or I want to do more of?
I think our school is perfect. I really enjoy it.
Nice. So no wish list. Wow. Awesome, Max. Well, we want to continue to get better for you. Our kids deserve it, our families, and we want to continue to grow and make our schools, like you said, the best they can be. Max, we got the holidays coming up. Next week is kind of holiday week before. There'll be a lot of festivities going on, a lot of lights and things in the classroom. What does this time of the year mean for you?
Just spend as much time as I can with family and friends.
Do you travel or you're home? Where do you go for the holidays?
I go to my dad's mom's house first, my grandma, and then I go to so we're there all day and we'll have dinner, and then I go to my mom's parents' house.
Okay.
And we spend a little bit of time there.
And do you miss school now during the break, or you enjoy sleeping in and being home and staying in your jammies, the 26th, 27th, 28th? What about that time away from school?
At first it's fun, but then you're kind of missing your friends.
Yeah.
And your teachers.
You're ready to come back.
Yeah.
Max, adults do what's called New Year's resolutions. They say January 1st, I'm gonna blank. Do kids do that? Do kids do you have a reset or something that you're thinking about in 2024?
Just do what I'm always doing. Keep my grades up. Stay active. And just try and be better than I was last year.
Awesome. Max Talmadge here, doing the 3 A's here in Port Jervis. Academics, number one, the arts, and athletics. You're involved in all three. It's awesome to see. It's great to hear kids that are involved. So one last shout out for the show. Let's give those dates again, Max, for the ASK musical.
The 13th and 14th of January.
And there's one show on Friday, 2 on Saturday. We're not going to have any snow, Miss Alpany. But if there's snow, it bumps to Sunday. Is that right?
I think.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to have any snow, so we'll be okay with that. Max, we're looking forward to you and your classmates on that. Those are great events for kids. They're great events for our community. So come out and support Matilda, support actors and actresses like Max and his classmates. Miss Halpenny's and her team putting a lot of work in. So, Max, any last shout outs before we end the podcast?
Happy birthday to Miss Ashcraft. Her birthday's tomorrow.
Her birthday's tomorrow. Miss Larson gave you a shout out here as well. Happy birthday, Miss Ashcraft. Max, I don't have this question on the list. You got great hair, man. Does the swoosh there happen naturally, or are you working at that? I mean,
it kind of just came.
Yeah, I mean, your hair is just exceptional. I'm trying to hold on to mine, Max, but you got great hair. So that was not on the list, but it's looking good. If you're involved with that, Miss Leeper, it is looking good here. So that's right, Miss Halpenny, no snow. So we are going to sign off on the Port Center Spotlight podcast. Max, you had asked, how do kids get on here? And if you can make a recommendation, I'd love to hear for somebody that you think represents Port Pride and a recommendation for the show.
Chase Irwin.
Chase Irwin. All right. What grade is he in?
6th.
He's 6th also. Tell me about Chase.
He's active in sports. He's really good academically, and he does everything the right way.
Wow, doing things the right way, ASK. Chase, we will have to meet and get you scheduled. Nice shout out from your friend here, Max. This is Max Talmadge, ASK 6th grade class president. Max, we're proud of you. Thanks for coming on the podcast. All right, everybody. I wish you a great day. I wish you a wonderful holiday season. We'll have a couple more shows next week before we end. We have Mayor Kelly Decker coming on next week after you. But to our community, it's nice to celebrate young people like Max, and certainly a shout out to his family as well. It's nice to hear those things. We wish everyone a wonderful, safe holiday season, and continue to show your Port Pride in and out of schools. Our kids deserve it. Our schools deserve it. And certainly our community deserves it. So we are going to sign off. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on YouTube. Give us a like. And then certainly leave Max, his school, his classmates, his teachers, and his family a comment. It's nice to see the comments on there as well. Max, you did a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. We're going to sign off. Have a great day, everybody. Max, can I get a go Port?
Go Port.
Bye.